guys. So today I'm going to be talking about something very interesting in regards to spirituality. I didn't know that yesterday I had to move my chair to get into the seat. I didn't realize that at all. But anyways, I'm going to talk about something personal that happened to me that had been going on for about like 6 years. And I'm drinking sparkling white wine today. If you're not a spiritualist, I don't know, this video might not be for you. It's kind of like something that's like not even, like it's too disgusting to believe that it would be true. So have you guys ever had someone, this is a Taco Bell Chalupa Beef Supreme, by the way. Have you guys ever had someone that was jealous of you? Not just jealous of you. Not just jealous of you. They were envious. To the point where they wanted to be you. Like Selena and that girl that was supposed to be her best friend type vibes. Well, that was my life. I'll start with the fact that my children's father is Haitian and his family is from Haiti. So I'm sure you can guess where this is going. Involves Haitian voodoo. So, you know, I met my kid's dad a long time ago, the abuser. I met him a long time ago. And as it turned out, like, I don't want to get into like the whole story, but his family, specifically his one sister, well, both of his sisters and his mother, they were all extremely jealous, envious, you know, to the point where they wanted to be me. And it's truly disgusting, you know, what they did. I had a spiritual awakening, and this is why I say that I'm not a Christian. I'm a spiritual person. I believe in God, but I also believe that there's other entities as well, because, you know, there's people who believe in Allah, there's people who believe in Buddha, and who am I to say that they're the gods that they serve, the deities they serve are not real? Who am I to say that? You know, there's Haitian Anvwas, you know, Papa Legba, you know, Ogu Foray, you know, there's so many different entities. You know, we have our Greek gods, Zeus, Dionysus, you know. So it's like we have so many different deities. I'm a spiritualist. That means I believe, of course, God exists. However, I believe that the Bible is literally just a framework of how to be a good person. So if you're a good person, then you would be doing all of the things in the Bible in anyways, wouldn't you? I'm sorry, I'm a little sloppy. And by the way, I'm not going to eat in every single video. I just got home from work, so I'm like really hungry. Because my job's like an hour away. Okay, so anyways, when I went through my spiritual awakening, I started meditating and finding out about who I was. And I felt like the universe gave me some gifts. Some spiritual gifts, and having psychic abilities is one of them. And it kind of runs in my family. My mom, she's very Christian. She would have premonitions. So I got psychic abilities, and I had heard all of these things about my children's father's family, you know, through the cards. And then all of a sudden I'm just like hanging out one day in my bed, and I feel like my uterus burning, like in the area where my reproductive organs are, my uterus, the fallopian tubes, everything. I feel this like intense burning, and I'm like, what is this? You know, and I found out that I'm extremely sensitive, and this is spiritual warfare, by the way. By the way, I've never done anything to any of these people. I was the nicest, sweetest, kindest person they ever met. They were just evil and wicked. That's who and what they are at their core. I'm extremely nice and kind, and they're the complete opposite. They're evil and wicked. And what do people do when they're jealous of you and they can't be you and they can't have what you have? They try to take it from you and try to make sure that you can't get anything better. And it's like they had been hexing my finances for years. It's not like I really even had anything. But I got lucky and some things happened with insurance and I ended up getting some money. And so they were upset that, number one, that their voodoo hexes on me weren't working on my finances because I got blessed with an abundance. That was years ago, by the way. They were upset about that. And they were upset about the fact that I was finding out who I am and finding out my spiritual gifts and whatnot. So they sent an Anvwa, which is sending the dead, sending a dead spirit after me to attack me maliciously and viciously 24/7. Like when I tell you, I'll never even be able to explain the depths of these attacks. Like it got so bad, like and muscle pain so bad, like I could barely even lift my arms in the shower. It was so bad. It was like burning all the time between my legs, burning my reproductive region. It was burning so many places. And I would just feel all these stabs throughout my body, like these sharp, painful stabs, like I'm being stabbed with a needle, obviously. I'm sure they were using voodoo dolls. It's disgusting. It felt like I was being stabbed in my reproductive organs. It felt like my vagina was burning and I was being stabbed in my vagina and in my anus. It's disgusting. And being stabbed in different points in my head and all of the acupuncture pressure points, like throughout my body and in my hands and my feet, to literally try to attack my internal organs and make my organs feel. It's disgusting. Truly. And the saddest thing about it, like I went through this mental anguish for years. And when I told my children's father about it, who's my spouse, he was upset. He said, it's not happening. It's all in your head. They're not doing that. My family's not doing that. And of course, in the Haitian culture, they're not going to tell you what they're doing. They're not. They're never going to admit to it, ever. No matter how much you say it, no matter how much you're doing it, they're never going to admit it. And that is their culture, and that makes me upset. Because if you're going to do something like that, then stand in it 10 toes deep in the sand. If you have the balls to do that to someone, if you have the balls to trick someone nice into coming over to your house and putting blood or urine or feces or ashes of dead people's bones from the cemetery in their food and giving it to them to eat and drink, if you have the balls to do that, then have the balls to tell them. That's how I feel, and I stand on that. This had been going on for 6 years. It was so disgusting. It got to the point I was like, they would do depression hexes and I could just feel this weight in my forehead. It felt awful. Like when I was at work, they're doing hexes to try to get me fired. And I'm so spiritually sensitive. I was feeling all of this. It was awful. Not everyone is that spiritually sensitive, but I happen to be. And again, that's one of my gifts, that I'm so sensitive. A psychic told me I'm so sensitive, I could feel an earthquake before it happens. But anyways, it was so disgusting what they've done. And I spent thousands, trying to free myself of it. And it's just been awful. And it's been disgusting. And of course, like I said, they'll never admit it. And my children's father would beat me up for saying that his mother was doing it and for saying that his family members were doing it. But they were. And they still are. And of course, I've removed myself from that situation. My children's father beat me up for the last time, and I will not go back. I don't want anything to do with him, and I don't want anything to do with them. They are disgusting. You know the quote, kill them with kindness? It's false. There's some people that are so evil and wicked, it doesn't matter how nice you are or what you give them. They don't care. They still want to be you, and they still want your life, and they want to destroy you, and it's disgusting. I promise you, like, it got so bad where I was like, I don't know if this is ever going to end. I thought about killing myself. So I'm like, I can't live like this forever. I can't. This is mental anguish. I have so many memories that are tainted because I was feeling so much pain. There's so many memories that are tainted. And they're disgusting. They're bullies. You know what bullies do? They hide behind witchcraft. They hide behind voodoo. But they don't do any of it to your face. They don't say any of it to your face. So imagine my surprise when their mother finally died. I was happy. I was happy because she's one of the most wicked of them all. I was happy. I don't want to mince my words. I was happy, and righteously so. Righteously so. She hadn't seen or talked to me or my children in 6 years because she was doing voodoo on me. So of course she avoided me at all costs. Of course. And when she finally passed away, I was happy because that is karmic justice. You can't be mean and evil and do mean and evil, nasty, wicked things to people and think that you're going to live a great life. You can't, especially when that person's not deserving. I would never do that to anyone. I don't care if I was jealous. I don't get jealous of people. I honestly don't. And I would never do that to someone. Never. Even an enemy of mine. I wouldn't do that. So that is part of my story. You know, there's just so much to unpack. They're so disgusting. You know, they were jealous of me being with James, their brother, and the mother's son. They were jealous of that. They were jealous of my daughters. They would do voodoo on my daughters, voodoo on my parents. They would do voodoo on my whole family. They're disgusting. I wish I had never met them. And if I could go back in time, I would unmeet them. So hopefully you never meet anyone like that. But that is what sending the dead is. That's what an Anvwa was, sending the dead. And it was because of that I started opening myself up to different things spiritually. So because I had prayed to God so much, prayed to God that he would change them, change their hearts. I sent all sorts of prayer requests to different churches, Benny Hinn, Jesse Duplantis, just to name a few. I had sent so many prayer requests, but they never changed. And it didn't get any better. And so I started looking to different deities and, you know, different things spiritually. You know, even to, you know, Lucifer and demons, because demons are what? Demons are fallen angels. And I met Lucifer. And I just reached out to so many different deities. I reached out to Ogu Foray, you know, for protection. Just so many different things. So, you know, that's my brief story on spirituality. But, you know, it's a warning that be careful who you trust. Because I truly thought that these people were family to me. I thought his mother was family to me. I thought we were on good terms. We weren't. She was putting blood in my food, urine, the ashes of people from the cemetery in my food and in my drink. And she smiled in my face as she did this. And to me, I think those are the most disgusting kind of people. They're the most disgusting. The ones that smile in your face and stab you in the back. And the fact that my children's father, my husband, never stood up for me. Never once. And in fact, what he did was go back behind my back and make things even worse. He would tell them all sorts of things that were lies to get them upset, even more upset, and tell them, oh no, you're righteous. Sarah's jealous of you. I was never jealous of them. Never. They were upset because they had a distorted sense of how my marriage should be. They wanted to control me and my children's father's lives. They wanted to control us and tell us what to do all the time. They wanted my kids' dad to check in with them every single week and tell them what we're doing. That's how psychotic they were. They were very deranged. They were controlling. They wanted to know every fight that me and him got, and they wanted to know about it. They were never nice to me. They were always jealous of me. They would do things like buy movie tickets and invite other people places and invite my children's father, and then they wouldn't invite me. They would go on vacations and they would all go and they wouldn't invite me and my children. And they would take pictures of their kids and say, oh, this is all the cousins together. And then when I would express how I felt about it, they would laugh and say that I'm just jealous. And one time I even cried about it. And his mom was sitting there laughing. They're heartless, disgusting monsters. I've never met anyone like that in my life. And I pray to God that I never do again. But that's my story on, spirituality and Anvwa and sending the dead. If any of this resonates with you, comment, hit the like button, subscribe, and follow me on my other social media. It's just a story I wanted to share because that's part of my life story. The fact that I've overcome that and the fact that I've become stronger. I've been through so much pain. It's unfathomable. I could cry a million tears. I've been through so much pain that I didn't deserve, things I didn't deserve from people. But that's what makes me who I am. That even though you're going through these trials, refusing to hurt other people, even though you're hurting yourself, you refuse to hurt other people. That's how you keep having a good heart. Just because people are being awful and mean and terrible to you, you don't have to lash out at others and sting back and be vicious just because you're going through something rough. I've had the hardest time of my life in the past 6 years. It's been truly awful. It's been awful. And the fact that my children's father, my own husband, could sit there and listen to me say, I feel like killing myself, and not even care. Not even care. I remember after I had stopped talking about it, because I realized he didn't care. One day, he asked me, after I hadn't said anything in a while, he asked me, are you feeling anything? Have you been feeling anything still? I was like, I knew. And that he was in on it too. He knew about it. And he didn't care. He was never my husband. I was always the third party to his family. He should have never gotten married. He had no right to get married. He had no right having children. Because in the end, he didn't choose us. He didn't choose me and my children. He chose them. And that's on him. And that's who he has to live with the rest of his life. I've been through hell on this earth and back. And that's what makes me appreciate my boyfriend even more, because I finally found a real man. I finally found a real man that doesn't hide behind his, or that doesn't let his sisters and his mom hide behind him. I finally found a real man that loves me and treats me with respect. And he's amazing to me. So, I couldn't be happier now. He fumbled me, and it's his loss, and it's my boyfriend Alan's gain. So, yay! I always like to look at the brighter side of things. Yes, I went through hell, but I'm at the end of it. I'm at the end of it because I met my Alan. I love him. I love him so much. I love being with him. He's amazing. Of course, I'm going to post pictures of us. I love him so much. Like, truly, he's like knight in shining armor. Anyways, he's helped me cope with everything, like being a single mom and everything. He's been amazing, truly. He has. And of course, he's divorced himself. He's just so strong. He has so much strength, just like me. He and I are kindred spirits, definitely. We're kindred spirits. We're the lovers, tarot. He's my King of Pentacles, and I'm his Queen of Pentacles. So I'll leave you guys with that. See you next time.